Hey, this is Dispatches from Myrtle Beach, and this is Charles Neal with my son Link Neal from Good Mythical Morning. We're getting ready to swing into another show, so how you doing, son?
I'm doing good. I just ate a donut. What's your favorite donut?
I like the eclair. Well, I don't know if it's an eclair, but the ones with the custard filling in the middle of it.
Sometimes that's my favorite donut. And we would be on the exact same page. But today, my favorite donut is the chocolate cake with the chocolate glaze. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just like chocolate on chocolate.
Well, now you in Nancy's league there. She's a chocolate on chocolate person.
Oh. She's got a whole league. She's got a donut league?
I don't know about a league, but she likes chocolate cake with chocolate icing with chocolate ice cream on it.
Okay. See, I don't like chocolate. I don't like cake, but I like a cake donut. And I dip it in my coffee, and I'm just trying to tell you that I'm in a good headspace. I'm bringing you my best because I gave my best to that donut, and it gave it right back.
Well, that's a good thing, yeah.
How about you? How you feeling?
I'm about wore out, but I'm doing pretty good.
Why are you wore out?
Because I worked all day today and for about 6 days in a row. So,
what was it, a deadline or something?
It was a deadline so we could go to the mountain snow skiing tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, are you going to be too wore out to ski?
This old man is not going to be skiing. I might do some tubing, but I'm not going to be skiing.
He's going to do some tubing.
We tried that last year, and I about broke too many bones just trying to learn how again. So I figured it was, and the instructor looked at it and said, "How old are you?" And me and Nancy both, we said, 70. He said, "Y'all need to go over there and sit down somewhere else."
Really?
That's what he told. Yep.
Thank God. Like, hey, he needs to stick around. He just needs to keep speaking in your ear. How old are you? You don't need to be working over the weekends and all that. That was going to be my second question is, you're not planning on actually skiing, so I'm glad you're gonna limit it to your ass in a tube.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do.
If your ass ain't already on the snow, you ain't going to go.
That would be correct, yeah.
Who's going to ski?
Cameron and Brandy and...
Once you see Cameron and Brandy and Carl and Candace skiing, don't start getting jealous now. Remember,
no, don't worry about that.
What are you going to hear? Unless my
ass is on the ground, I don't need to be doing it.
What? That didn't rhyme though.
Okay.
Unless your ass is in the snow,
don't need to go.
Don't need to go. Don't need to go. I can stay put over here on the side. Now I don't, because I want to get a review, an update on the back side of this. No broken bones, no concussions, just a lot of spectating.
That would be correct. That's exactly what's going to be going on.
What mountain are y'all going to?
Beach Mountain.
Beach Mountain. The old church ski trip mountain. That's where we would go.
Okay.
But you're wore out.
I'm good.
I guess you're doing this trip, so that kind of spaces it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to always be working, Dad. Just, wedge in some more downtime.
I'm going to try to start doing that after they get through with this one. I'm going to try to start back playing a little golf again, so we'll just have to see.
I feel like we've had this conversation before. And
probably have it again.
Okay. Because you already said, right when I get back, I'm getting right back into it. Next job. All right.
Yeah. Well, when you got people waiting, they want you to come fix what they got. And I'm their Mr. Fix It, so I have to go try to fix it. So that's just the way it is.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get off your back. I'm just trying to love on you. I'm just trying to love on you.
Yeah.
Because it is the time of love.
It's time of love because I'm gonna go ahead and give a little holler out to my wife Nancy for Valentine's Day, and so we can when the podcast and the video comes out for YouTube, we'll have where we can look this stuff and have a little love nest watching the podcast and the video. So listening to. So we might have something going on. Can't ever tell what I might get into. Might swing into something else.
Hold on, Dad.
Might not.
You seem to be describing. Let me see if I'm hearing this right. You seem to be saying that you want to give Nancy a Valentine's greeting so that when this comes out on Valentine's Day, y'all can listen to it. And then 2 days later, when it comes out on video, you can watch it and it can lead to lovemaking?
It might. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Well, Dad, but I'm here too, man. I'm just giving a holler out to my wife. You got to give your own holler out to your wife. Yeah, and you beat
Valentine.
me to it. Yeah, it's not gonna mean as much now that I feel like I'm just copying you.
Yeah. Oh yes, it will. Yeah. You can't worry about that.
All right,
it'll
fine.
be good.
All right. I would like to give a holler out to the love of my life, my coochie. Come on over here, baby. My one and only for always, my Christy. I love me some Christy. I'm getting goosebumps just saying her name. Christy. I love Christy. She's so good for me. It's just great to have my Christy. Like I'm leaving here when we're done recording. I'm going home. She's a little under the weather. And it's our date night. And we canceled our reservations because she just doesn't feel like going anywhere. And what I told her this morning was, I'm looking forward to our date. And if you don't feel like going anywhere, if you don't feel up to it because you're still under the weather, we'll just cancel that. But we're still going to have our date. We're going to look at each other's faces. This is what I told her right before I left the house. I said, we're going to look at each other's faces. And we're going to talk to each other. And that's what we're going to do. In the least. But that's important, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I love you, Christy. Ha, Dad, I beat you. Now you better give it another shot. Better give it another shot. Give another holler out to Nancy.
And I love my Nancy just like you love your Christy, because she looks after me and cooks for me and just does all kind of. She even came and helped me clean up this week so I could get through with that job.
You talking about the cooking and the cleaning? Oh yeah. Okay? Is that it? What? But keep going though.
But you know, she's my one and only. She's the one that makes my world go around in a circle. So we just keep swinging right along. We know what we want and what we gonna do. So we'll just have to see how things work out for Valentine's. Cause I love me some Nancy.
They know what they want. They know what they're gonna do. Logan. She's a sweetheart. We love her to death. Woo!
Well, I got a little special Valentine's holler out from Lydia Edwards.
Okay.
And Lydia, I'm gonna do this for you, but first, Lydia's been fighting stage 3 cancer for a few months now, and she ain't just all up to snuff, and I can understand what she's going through a little bit, because I have to take some medicine for cancer every time now, but she wants me to do a holler out to her fiance, Travis, that he can have a great, wonderful Valentine's Day, and coming for her from Dispatches from Myrtle Beach, and we're gonna give him a big holler out that Lydia loves you and we can't do everything we won't do for Valentine's right now, but she wants you to know that she wants you to have a special Valentine's, and we giving it to you from Dispatches from Myrtle Beach.
There you go, Travis.
And Travis, he listens to this podcast all the time. So Travis is in Greensboro, North Carolina, and have a happy Valentine's Day from his fiancée, Lydia. So she said, thank you for always being there for me through everything. And he's getting ready to have his 27th birthday too. So may it be a good year for you, Travis, and for Lydia. So we're giving a holler out for Travis from Lydia for Valentine's Day.
We are a conduit of love, Dad. We're pulling in Lydia's love. We're understanding that, like you said, she's not up to snuff these days. Sometimes you like that. You know, you want to love on somebody and you physically, you don't have it in you. And, well, you making a face. I'm saying something important, and you're distracting me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
I did my fingers and learned how to scroll up on this computer, and I did it like I was supposed to. That's astounding for me.
Okay. Old dog just learned a new trick. You learned how to use a trackpad on a laptop.
Yeah, and it worked. Might not work the next time, but it worked this time.
Congratulations, Dad. You just learned how to work a trackpad. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And you're proud of yourself. Can I finish?
Yes, I am.
Can I finish my thought?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I accept it. And you know what? As much as I interrupt you, I listen back to every podcast before it comes out. This is an aside. And, you know, I have this proclivity to interrupt. And I'm not just talking about with you or on any other podcast that I might host, but in normal life with people that I love very much. Some of which I haven't that I've talked about earlier on this podcast, and some particular friends and coworkers that I have here who might be an executive and a lesbian here at Mythical. I have interrupted her a lot on our other show, and I'm working on that. So all that to say, I made up my mind that I'm not gonna interrupt you as much because you got some good shit to say, Dad, and you don't need me wedging myself in the middle of it. So you're more than forgiven. I'm sorry for all the times I've interrupted you.
Well, I kind of thought, you know, maybe that's what makes this world go around, with me interrupting you and you interrupting me. So I don't know if we need to stop that or not. Yeah. So you need to.
Let's not apologize then. Yeah. Okay. We have an agreement. Yeah. I was just twisting your twig a little bit.
Yeah.
I made that one up.
Twisting your twig.
Yeah, but what was I saying? I was saying, Travis, Lydia loves you. And you know she's doing the best she can. And I know you're loving her through everything she's going through. So happy Valentine's Day to both of y'all. We wish y'all the best in your engagement and your marriage. And keep us posted. How could they do that, Dad?
Just rather be shagging 53 at AOL.com.
Yep. And Lydia, hang in there, girl. You got this, girl. You got it.
It's time for another edition of Myrtle Beach Mailbag. Well, I got a email from Caroline Johnson.
Big Johnson.
Boy, that brings back memories. Big Johnson, boy, them T-shirts that he used to have.
I love that. Yeah, especially down there in your neck of the woods. You go to, yeah, I mean, are they not down there anymore? Like you go in any of those shops on the strip in Myrtle Beach, and all those T-shirt shops, are they still there?
I don't see those anymore.
You got to go down there and let me know what's down there now. Take some pictures.
All right.
This will be fun, Dad. Yes, this is just an idea, but I would love for you to go down the Myrtle Beach Strip, especially if it's like at night, and just take some pictures of what the shops are down there. Like what can be bought? Because back in the day, the Big Johnson t-shirts were everywhere, and it was just a bunch of innuendo about this like scrawny dude with the big right?
That's what
a Big
it was
Johnson.
About. Yeah, Big Johnson. That's right.
So maybe this person, who is it? Maybe this is Mrs. Johnson.
Caroline Johnson.
Caroline might be related to Big Johnson.
Yeah, she might be.
Let's hear it.
But Caroline says, how is playing bridge similar to sex?
Yeah, she must be kin to him. How is playing bridge similar to having sex?
Yep.
I don't know anything about bridge. It's a card game.
Yep.
It's like a card game that old people play.
No, I don't. I'm like you. I don't know anything about bridge either. But a lot of people I think are getting on up there.
It's something that you know and love, but when you get old, you don't want to play it. I don't know. I can't pull it together.
Says if you don't have a good partner, you better have a good hand.
I get half of it. I get the sex half of that, but I just don't know enough about bridge. I guess you have a partner, or you got to have a good hand. For the old people listening who are playing bridge, they're cackling right now.
Yep, I guess so.
Yeah, we can only guess.
Did you know Sport had a newsletter? I know I didn't. Coming out every 2 weeks, you can keep up with all the new and updated food rankings and product reviews. Visit sport.com/subscribe to sign up now. I got one from Michael E. Says, want to hear a joke about my penis?
Absolutely.
He says, never mind, it's too long.
I just wonder if you could start pulling some of these jokes. Have you told any of these jokes? Have you repeated them in like casual conversation?
No, but I might ought to start doing that a little bit and bringing some of these up, especially some of the good ones. That one wasn't too bad, Michael.
Right, that one was very conversational.
Yeah.
Hey, you want me to tell you a joke about my penis? Never mind, it's too long.
Never mind, it's too long.
That's a good delivery too. And then you just people don't think you're telling a joke.
Mm.
Well, they just think you're being strange or inappropriate.
or weird, like that award we won.
Right. You can lean over to whoever's sitting next to you in church and try that one on. If it's a guy that you know.
Yeah. Well, I got a guy. I might try that on at church. Yeah.
All right. Let me know, Dad. I just need you to email me at ratherbeshaggy53@aol.com. Keep me posted. Yeah.
Well,
I'm not going to get that. I don't read your emails.
I got another email from Tommy, and he wants to know, have either of you had any near-death experiences? And I know you ain't been around as long as I have, but I think you've had some. But boy, I got to thinking about this one, and back in my younger days, when I had a 55 Chevrolet, and some people won't understand this, but it had a 396 375 in it, but it had 720 horsepower. And it was when I was young, and I had probably been drinking too much.
Dad.
And I left somewhere and drove off the road and hit a culvert in the road and turned the car end over end 3 times.
Flipped
and
it like head over, tail overhead, tail overhead?
Tail overhead. What? 3 times. 3 times. And everywhere but where I was sitting, the top of the car was mashed flat to the seat, except for right where it kind of just sloped down and was sitting right there. And the only thing it did to me was cut the top of my ear off, except for it was hanging by just a little bit. So my buddy I just dropped off, he come pick me up, and before the police or the law could get, this is in like 1972, he said, well, I'm going to take you to the doctor. Carry me to the doctor down there and carry me to see Dr. Williford, who was my doctor. He had to take a physical where we played football and basketball in high school and everything. And the guy's name that carried me down there was Danny Thomas. And he told Danny, he said, well, I'm going to sew Charles's ear back on, but he don't need no Novocaine. He said, because he's got enough in his body right now where he don't need nothing for pain. So
Like adrenaline?
Yep. So he sewed my ear back on, and I still got it. It's still on. So that was about as close as probably I reckon the good Lord was just looking after me, because that was as close to a near-death experience as I've had, you know, if you turn a car end over end 3 times.
That's crazy, Dad. Man. So you think God kept you alive to fulfill your purpose?
I think he's still trying to fulfill my purpose. Yes, I do.
Yeah. But, you know, the big one was in 78, you know, in June of 78, you know what I'm saying? Around the first of the month. I would say exactly the first of the month in the year 78.
Yeah.
You fulfilled a grand purpose.
That would be correct.
Making me.
June the 1st.
Well, you didn't make me then, but yeah, that was the culmination of.
That was the culmination. That's right.
I would say 9 months before that. Now hey, there's still story to tell. You know, you got lots of life to live.
I hope so.
But that's crazy. Let's go. Can you go ahead and just put a disclaimer on your story about drinking and driving, please?
Oh yeah. Please, if you gonna drive, don't drink. Especially at this day and time, when back in them days, you got away with it a little bit, but you can't get away with it now, and it's not a good thing. So no drinking and driving. No drinking and driving.
And not just because you can't get away with it.
Because you might hurt somebody else.
So what you just left the car there? Like, how did your friend was behind you?
No, he heard me. I dropped him off about a half a mile up the road, and he heard me when I had the wreck, and he got in his car and come down there. And
he heard it happen.
He heard it happen.
Oh, it must have been a racket.
Yep. Yeah, I imagined it was a racket.
So you got in his car, you abandoned your car there in the wreckage.
Yeah, and I didn't need to be there if the police was coming. I didn't want to get a ticket, so I didn't see the police till the next day. So, yeah. And then he called a wrecker, and they pulled the car. That's when I still living with Mom and Dad, and they pulled the car down to Mom and Daddy's house and parked it at the edge of the driveway. And that was one of them times that Daddy said, I told you that car was going to get you killed.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to top that. I mean, I got poison ivy really bad once.
Can poison ivy kill you?
I was pretty miserable. I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing close to that. And I'm proud of it.
I think you have got something close to that too.
What? You talking about what?
Your and Rhett and all them boys' ski trip where you ended up in the hospital.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, when I broke my pelvis, I had the concussion. You got to watch somebody closely if they have a concussion. It can absolutely kill you. It was stupid to not be wearing a helmet. After that, I was wearing a helmet. Yeah, there's that. And I had some near-death experiences in high school when we were like kayaking in the Cape Fear River. at like flood stage. We didn't have the skills to do what we were doing. So there was a number of times like that, but it was never anything where I was like, I don't know. We didn't know how close we were to death, I would say. And we were all right. We had a ball. We made it through.
Angie W. once said, "What does a perverted frog say?"
A perverted frog. Slimy. Ribbit.
There you go. That's what I said. Ribbit, ribbit, rubbit, ribbit, rubbit.
Oh, well, yeah, that didn't quite what I was saying, but okay, I'll take that one. I got it. Rubbit, rubbit,
rubbit,
rubbit,
rubbit, rubbit.
Oh, you're so perverted.
Now it's time for a word from our sponsor. Well, we're going to do a sponsor's ad this week, and we're going to do one for my wife, Nancy. Since it's Valentine's Day, and she makes all this, I'm going to show it to you.
All right, so this is a freebie. Go for it.
So we're giving a big advertisement for, and her jewelry is called Precious Petals Jewelry by Nancy Neal.
All right.
All this beautiful jewelry that people can buy. So if you want to buy some, just send me something to ratherbechagging@53aol.com. We'll see if we can hook you up with some of my wife's jewelry. But she's going to be doing she's got a tent for, St. Patrick's Day. And going to be set up and going to be selling. I think she told me last night she had 240 pieces of jewelry that she has made that she's going to be selling.
What?
Come on down and see Nancy. She's my Valentine, but she's going to be y'all's special jewelry maker for that time. So come on down and get some of her jewelry.
That's beautiful. Precious petals.
I got an email asking for some advice from Margaret McCracken. I'll help you get out of the woods. Margaret, I bet there's 1,000 people or 10,000 people that's wondered about this and says, my name is Margaret and I need some advice.
Okay.
When I'm at work, I work in an office and I hold my farts in because I don't want to be known as the stinky coworker.
Nope.
But I really want to just let them rip because storing them up can't be good for my gut health. Says, do you have any tips for discreetly farting at work around other people? Mm-hmm. Well, Margaret, you got to learn how to, when you're at home and you got to have that, let that gas out. You got to work on it where you can let it out right quietly, where then you look around and say, Lord, where did that come from? I mean, who did that? And then if it accidentally comes out and it's loud and does, you just stand up and say, I did that. Nobody else can top that. Just be proud of what you did, you know. I mean, it's just a natural thing that when you have gas and you got to fart, you got to let it out, because if you don't believe that, send me an email in here and I'll have Nancy answer it, because she'll flat tell you that if I got a fart, I'm going to let it go. I got to let it go. So
more room out, 'tis in.
That's right. There's more room out than there is in. So, you know, Margaret, you just kind of see, you're going to have to practice some at home. See if you can ease one out and where you don't get caught. But if you do get caught, and if it smells that bad, you ought to claim it. You ought to claim it. So, you know, that's just my feeling about it, you know, because all them other people around you just working in there, they probably got the same thing going on too. So you might get something started where all y'all might be farting at one another in there in the office.
Oh, you talking about changing the culture, changing the workplace culture?
Yeah, we might change the culture. That's right.
So that everybody at her place of work just farts freely.
That sounds like a good idea. I got rip.
Rip. Yeah. That's a good one.
That would sound kind of juicy.
Yeah. That's my juicy. I'm chewing on my juicy fruit. Not a sponsor. So you're telling me if it's practice at home to make it quiet, and if it's quiet but it stinks, you say what?
You just look around like, where in the world did that come from? Oh man. Oh, good God. Who did that?
Good God.
See if you can blame it on somebody else.
Good God.
If you get good at that, then you can blame it on all them people sitting around you.
Yeah.
Of course, if you get caught, then
if it's loud,
like I said, if
what do you
bad, say? Then you just have to say, I did that. Can you top it?
Can you step up? Step up, y'all. It's time for the fart contest. My entry has been submitted. You heard it. Come over and smell it. And you know what? We can have the IT department over here. We can have, I don't know what line of work she's in. We can have the auditors in here. We can have the office managers. We can do it by bracket. But y'all line up, because I farted. See if you can top it.
I think everybody had a little gas. So
of course. I don't know if you hold it, I don't know if it's like every time you have to fart, if you hold it in, if it's that same one that keeps coming back or if it's a different one. Like if you keep pushing new ones back up in there and you're going to explode. Or if it's just the same one knocking on the door again. Is now a better time? I don't know about that. I don't know how that works. We're going to have to call Dr. Williford.
Well, it was fun having all y'all with us today. Y'all come on back next Tuesday and Thursday for another one, and we're going to swing into what we can swing into and whirl around. And if you got a joke, a question, or comment you'd like to share with me, email me at ratherbeshagging53@aol.com.
That was a real fun one today. I don't know what got into us, but maybe it was that donut.
Might have been. Yeah.
But I think it might just be love in the air.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's what we started out with, love in there. Ended up with gas in there.
Oh man, I love you, Dad.
Love you too. We can't wait to spin your world around again next week. So y'all come on back to the podcast and to the email.
Yeah, to the email. Yeah. Come back to all of it.
All of it, and the YouTube, and look at us and see what's going on. So we love all of you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
I love you.